We're here today with a major announcement regarding our school system. And I want to start with just a moment of reflection on what we have been through up to now. You go back to this summer. Chancellor Carranza and I were adamant that we believed reopening our schools was the right thing to do, that our kids needed it. Parents had a lot of concerns, educators and staff had a lot of concerns. A lot of people said it could not be done, but we believed it could be done and it could be done safely. And we became one of the few major cities in America to reopen our schools. In fact, by far, of course, the biggest school system in America. What we did, a lot of people looked at with amazement. And that's a credit to our educators and our staff, everyone at the Department of Education, our custodial services team, food services, school safety, everyone who was a part of that. They believed they could do it, and they did. And we kept our schools safe. And we did it in real life conditions. We proved that schools could be extraordinarily safe because we put a tremendous number of health and safety measures in place, created that gold standard of combined health and safety actions that worked. What we didn't know back in July and August, we do know now that these steps work and they keep kids safe and they keep the whole school community safe. But we also said at the time that we would set a strict standard and we would live by it. And if we hit 3%, we'd have to reevaluate the whole situation. We did, of course, hit 3%. We did a temporary closure of our schools. And then we went about the work immediately of resetting the entire equation and trying to determine a path that would be sustainable. Regardless of the challenges we faced, we needed something sustainable that could link us up to the time when we would have the vaccine widely distributed. And so we focused on increasing the health and safety measures, doubling down on the things that work, making them even more stringent and exacting. I had conversations with our stakeholders, conversations with the state. I've had a number of conversations with the governor. We've been working through how do we take all those good lessons of health and safety and amplify them with new measures. So that is exactly what we now will put in place. We will have testing that is going to go from monthly in every school to weekly in every school. We will have consent forms required for attendance. I want to emphasize this. Students will not be able to attend school unless they have a consent form on record, period. This is something for everyone's health and safety. And as we open school in phases, and I'll go over the phases in a moment, wherever possible, we will, in schools that have the ability, go to 5-day-a-week instruction. Now, this is for the students who already were in blended learning or the ones who opted in recently. For any school that does have the space and the ability to move to 5-day-a-week in-person instruction for those kids, that will now be the preferred model. So we'll have in-person instruction for those who are part of that approach, remote for all other kids. The Situation Room will also, of course, continue to do its extraordinary work, and this has been one of the big X factors. The Situation Room has allowed us to keep each individual school safe with very exacting follow-through on every reported case and quick action to address what the ramifications of the case would be, whether it means in some cases a classroom needs to be closed for a period of time or even a whole school. That approach has worked. That will stay strong. Obviously, all the social distancing rules, mask wearing, everything that's worked before, but with these new measures. So that is the basic approach, and now here's the important news. Beginning the week of Monday, December 7th, New York City Public Schools will begin to reopen. We will begin with elementary schools, K to 5, and our pre-K, 3K public school centers. And then later that week, on Thursday, December 10th, our District 75 special education programs. So New York City Public Schools will be reopening in phases starting on Monday, December 7th. Now, we are focusing on the younger grades. Let's be clear. Focusing on the younger grades on that Monday. All K-5 programs whether they're standalone or part of a bigger school, those grades will come back, and those pre-K, 3K centers. Why? Because we know, first of all, studies consistently show that younger kids are having less of a negative experience, and there's less concern about the spread when it comes to younger kids. Also, the demands that our parents are going through, and I feel for all our parents who are experiencing so many challenges right now, how important it is for them to have their younger kids in school, how important it is at that age, both educationally and socially, but also in terms of how parents juggle all the challenges in their life. And then District 75. We have a little bit of extra work to do to get District 75 programs back up and running, but as I said, Thursday, December 10th. District 75 school special needs program, so crucial. We want to be there for those kids and their families that go through so much. We've heard from those families, they need this back, so we will get that up and running. Now that's going to be the vast majority of the city. Those levels we're going to address in the future of middle school and high school, but we're not ready for those yet. That's just the plain truth. We will work to get to that day, but we're not there yet.